Hello and welcome to the Red Oak Gymnasium, the Orange Gymnasium. It's Class 3A Region 1 quarterfinal action. Aaron West, Eli Bells. Eli, good evening to you.
How's it going, Aaron?
Going great. Melanie West with us as well, running our camera software. You can watch it. Let me say quick, you can go to our YouTube channel. You can watch it on YouTube. And we want to say thanks to our pregame sponsor, the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show here. Thanks to the fine folks over at the Alley Pointer Maquetto architecture firm, and thanks to them for being our pregame sponsor. Eli, it's win or go home.
You know, it's crazy how we're already to this point. It feels like we just had our first game not that long ago, and now we're here at the do-or-die point.
It's the records go by the wayside at this point. You have to perform or your season's over.
That's exactly, and you know, and that's the best part is everybody makes the postseason. Everybody's got a new life. I've seen plenty of teams go on runs, even against ourselves when we were the favorite. It's not fun to have that happen to you, but we'll see how it goes here tonight.
All right, should be good. We're going to take a quick break, check in with our sponsors, and make note of our sponsors and let them know that you appreciate it making it possible for us to be here. Again, this is the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. We'll be right back with the Bearcat Breakdown right after this. Orange Gymnasium, Class 3A, Region 1 quarterfinal action. Aaron West and Eli Bells. It's the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can listen to it here. You can go to our website, KCSI-FM, listen to it there. Click the Listen Live tab, download the app, or go over to our YouTube channel, KCSI Radio, and you can watch it there as well. And any of those will work, and we say thanks to, and by the way, with our streaming, we want to say thanks to Carrick & Associates, our exclusive streaming sponsor here. Really want to say thanks to Todd and Sherry and the folks at Carrick & Associates for being our exclusive streaming sponsor here in the postseason. Now, the Bearcat Breakdown, the Northwest Missouri Bearcat Bracket Breakdown. Eli, we're going to start first in Class 1A Region 2. A lot of games going on across the region tonight. If you're a volleyball fan, tonight all across the region starts at 7 o'clock. Fremont Mills at Fremont Mills. It's Fremont Mills and Essex. That winner of that game advances to take on St. Albert on Wednesday night in St. Albert. It's Sydney and Lenox. All of these games start tonight at 7 o'clock. Sydney and Lenox that will be at Sydney. The winner of that game advances to take on the winner of the Stanton-Bedford game, which is taking place in Stanton tonight as well at 7 o'clock. Tri-Center at the Tri-Center Middle School, the game taking place there. And then it's East Mills at the East Mills High School. East Mills in Griswold. The winner advances to take on the winner of the Tri-Center Heartland game. And then also at Riverside, it's Riverside and Woodbine taking place, and that's at 7 o'clock tonight as well. All of the winners of those games advance to Wednesday night. It'll be 7 o'clock Wednesday night. That is Class 1A Region 2. Advancing on now, Eli, if we can, to Class 2A Region 3. It's Panorama IKM Manning. This is tonight at 7 o'clock, so here in just a few minutes, the winner advances to take on Southwest Valley on Wednesday night. Southwest Valley achieved the bye, and the winner of the Panorama IKM Manning takes on Southwest Valley on Wednesday night, the 20th, in Southwest Valley at 7 o'clock. Class 3A Region 1, it's Red Oak and Atlantic taking place here. Harlan and Sergeant Bluff on the other side of the bracket. The winners of these two games advance to Sergeant Bluff on Wednesday night. So that should be a fun bracket as well. Class 4A Region 1, it's Lewis Central and Lamar's. This is tomorrow night. Now, this is Class 4A Region 1. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, the 19th, it's Lewis Central and Lamar's at Lewis Central. And Carroll and Denison at the Carroll High School at 7 o'clock. The winner of the Lewis Central Lamar's games advances to take on Glenwood at 7 o'clock in Glenwood on Thursday night. So a look at your Bearcat breakdown in the Northwest Missouri State Bearcat breakdown. A lot of volleyball going on. The Northwest Missouri State Bearcat bracket breakdown.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. I can't say it once slow.
And it's some interesting games, I think, all across. I think tonight, especially with at Harlan at Sergeant Bluff, I think it's going to be a little closer game than what people are going to think, especially down in the postseason play. It gets a little closer than what people think. And then same with the Glenwood game. I'm thinking LC is going to take Lamar's. Glenwood and LC went 5 just about 5 days ago. So I think that's going to be a close one, too, for tomorrow night.
All right, the Bearcat bracket breakdown brought to you by Northwest Missouri State University, thanks to the fine folks at Northwest Missouri State University. Right, Eli?
That's right. There we go, Bearcats.
All right, there you go. It's the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. We're going to take a break, check in with our sponsors, and we'll come back, Eli, and look at some of the lineups here in the game this evening. Welcome back to Red Oak Class 3A Region 1 quarterfinal. And let's take a look at the lineups for the visiting Atlantic Trojans, if we can, Eli. So for Atlantic here tonight, you're going to have Michaela Atkinson. She's a sophomore for the Trojans, 5'5". Kira Olson, a junior, outside hitter, 5'11". Chesney Naros, a senior for the Atlantic Trojans. Also, Ava Rush, she's a junior, 5'4". Reagan Leonard, senior, 5'8". Abby Smith, an outside hitter, 5'7". Chloe Mullenix, a junior, 5'10". Lexi Nolik is a junior, 5'11". Aubrey Geyer, junior, 6-footer. And she's a junior. Jada Jensen, a junior at 5'10". And that's a look at the lineup for the Atlantic Trojans. For the Red Oak Tigers, lineups for the Tigers coming into tonight's ball game will be Nicole Bond, a freshman, 5'4". Liz Carbaugh, senior, 5'11". Lainey DeVries, a junior, 5'9". Jordan Carlson, a senior. She's 5'8". Peyton Bass, a senior, 5'8". Reese Jackson, senior, 5'5". Tori Carrick, senior, 5'6". Macy Boswell, senior, at 5'5". Lexi Johnson, senior, 5'6". Merced Ramirez, a sophomore, at 5'5". Lennon O'Neill, a senior, at 5'9". Marissa Williams, great outstanding upcoming player. Marley Gray, a freshman for the Tigers, 5'9". Olivia Boswell, sophomore, 5'5". And Ashlyn Blackman is a senior at 5'3". That's a look at your lineups for the Tigers and the Trojans overall. Let's look at the starting lineups, if we can, Eli, for the Atlantic Trojans here in tonight's ball game.
Yep, we'll pull that up for you here if I can get this cleared off my screen.
And the starters for the Trojans in tonight's ball game: Ava Rush, she's a junior, 5'4". Reagan Leonard, a senior, 5'8". Abby Smith, a junior, at 5'7". Chloe Mullenix is a junior, 5'10". Lexi Nolik is a junior at 5'11", and Jada Jensen, a junior, 5'10". That's your starters for the Atlantic Trojans. Starters for the Red Oak Tigers, Eli, in tonight's ball game will be, for the Red Oak Tigers, Liz Carbaugh, outstanding senior, right at the net. A lot of fun to watch. Lainey DeVries, another outstanding Red Oak Tiger. She's middle hitter, 5'9". Tori Carrick, senior, outside hitter, 5'6". Lexi Johnson, I don't know, what can you say about Lexi at the net? Pretty impressive and a lot of fun to watch. Senior, 5'6". Merced Ramirez, a sophomore that's up and coming and a lot of fun to watch. Lennon O'Neill, another senior for the Red Oak Tigers at 5'9". And then your libero for the Red Oak Tigers will be Ashlyn Blackman. We're going to take a break here, and you're listening to the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with some statistics for tonight's game right after these messages. Welcome back. It's Class 3A Region 1 quarterfinal. And let's take a look, if we can, Eli. That's the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. Let's take a look at the statistics when you compare these two teams, Eli.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Aaron, it's a 0-0 now, I guess what you can call it here. Aces per set for Red Oak is 5.3. Atlantic at 3.3. Digs per set, 41.1 for Atlantic, 36.3 for Red Oak. Kills per set, 21.7 for Atlantic and 27.9 for Red Oak. Blocks per set, 4.8 for Atlantic and 6.4 for the Red Oak Tigers.
All right. Individually, who stands out to you?
You know, the individuals here, it's after watching, especially last week with Atlantic and Red Oak playing as Abby Smith, I think up front, averaging 2.2 kills per set and 204 kills on the year. You really saw them step it up too on the front line as well. Against Shenandoah, they were playing a lot back on their heels. It seemed like a lot of down balls, but then when they came up against Red Oak, it seemed to be a lot of balls being hit at the front of the net, attacking the net, and very aggressive serving. I think that's a big key for Atlantic tonight, and get the ball to Abby Smith. I think that's a big role for them. And then for Red Oak, I think it's we've said this plenty of times here. It's Lexi Johnson averaging 3.8 kills per set, 333 with efficiency, and 349 kills on the year. Lexi Johnson's a playmaker. She's a difference maker, and especially if you can get Liz Carbaugh and Lennon O'Neill, even Tori Carrick too as well. If you can get them rolling too, they're going to be a deep postseason team here in this regional.
All right, and we're getting set for the opening set here. Introductions are being made. It's the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. Again, we want to say thanks to our exclusive streaming sponsor, Carrick & Associates. Certainly appreciate them stepping up and making it possible for us to be here. We're going to take a break here for our national anthem, I think, and we will be right back with the opening serve here in just a few minutes. It's the Alley Pointer Maquetto pregame show. Right back after this. Welcome back to Red Oak. We're just a few minutes away now from this opening serve here in Red Oak, Class 3A Region 1 quarterfinal. And say thanks to Allie Pointer-Maquetto for being our pregame sponsor here this evening. All right, Eli, it's volleyball time. Tigers come into tonight's ballgame 27-9, Atlantic 17-19, but it really doesn't matter at this point. You got to win the ballgame.
That's exactly it here, Aaron.
Serve comes from Carrick, jump serve. It's going to be received by Geyer. There's Smith, a free ball across the net by Jensen. Carrick is there. Set goes to O'Neill. She hits it, and it's pushed up front by Nolik. Hit across by Jensen at the net. Up front, tapped across now by Mullenix. There's Blackman with the set to Johnson. Lexi Johnson dug out and passed up front by Rush. Hit across by Mullenix. There's Blackman. Set goes to Johnson this time. Jensen, or Smith rather, passes it. Tapped across by Mullenix, but it's out of play. And the point goes to the Tigers. Long volley on that first point.
Definitely a long volley. It seemed to be very conservative coming from Atlantic, just trying to get it back over the net. A lot of free balls coming over. See if Red Oak could take advantage of that.
There's Carrick with the serve. Ace serve. That would be a Houghton State Bank ace serve by Tori Carrick. Tigers lead 2-0 set number 1.
And when Carrick starts behind the line, she's so great. She mixes up that jump serve. She can go side to side. Very impressive from Carrick.
From the right side, behind the service line, Carrick again. Dug out by Rush, passed up front. Set goes to Mullenix, and it's out. Misses out the kill attempt by Mullenix, and the point goes to Red Oak. It's 3-0, Red Oak with the lead.
And I think Atlantic's going to be able to get some of those two. Not a lot of defense showing on the lines here. Atlantic's really pushing towards them. See if they get a couple to fall.
All right. Hit across the big. There's a State Farm Insurance Dave Carbaugh block by Liz Carbaugh.
And Carbaugh's been doing that all season long. She's just carrying that here into the postseason.
All right, now Carrick shifts over from the left side, hits it just across the net. That's going to be another Houghton State Bank ace serve by Tori Carrick.
And Red Oak really has great service runs when they're able to just go aggressively across the net, and that's what you're seeing here from Carrick. Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive.
It's 5-0. Red Oak leads set number 1. Serve to Geyer, passed up front. Set comes from Nolik, hit at the net. Jensen now pushed across by Geyer. Up front, Johnson hits it across. Rush passes it up to the net. There's O'Neill. Set goes to Lexi Johnson. That's going to be a Houghton State Bank. Hey, or check that. That's an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill is what that is. Let's get that straight. Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Lexi Johnson.
And right here you're seeing clean volleyball. Coming off that winter set, it seems to be that they're playing the best volleyball here leading up to this postseason. After a winter set championship, seems like they're bringing it right here.
This serve sails a bit long by Carrick, goes out of play, and the point goes to the Trojans. It's 6-1, Red Oak leads set number 1. Back to serve for the Trojans is Aubrey Geyer, the 6-foot junior. Into the back row, Carrick passes it up front. Set goes to Carbaugh. Whoa! There's an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Liz Carbaugh at the net.
And right there, as you see, Liz Carbaugh, we've been talking about it all season long with that vertical. Be able to get that low set, just let it rise up, and Carbaugh's going to put it down for you every time. It's 7-1 here for the Tigers.
Down ball across the net by Geyer up front. There's a dump set by Ramirez. Great awareness by Merced Ramirez, and the Tigers gain the lead now 8-1 here in set number 1. Pretty much been all Tigers so far.
It definitely has. And those dump sets coming from Ramirez, they're so typical. You see them all the time coming from her, and teams don't be able to seem to pick it up.
Ashlyn Blackman serves. Going to be a push across the net by Mullenix. Up front, tapped across by Johnson. There is Nolik. Hit across by Mullenix. Set goes to O'Neill, dug out. There's Rush up at the net. And the Trojans fail to get it across. Point goes to Red Oak. It's now 9-1. Red Oak leads set number 1. And Blackman back to serve once again for Red Oak. Ashlyn Blackman. Serve across the net by Blackman. Hit across by Smith. Pushed across into the back corner, Lexi Johnson. That was a great heads-up play by Lexi to go right to the open spot on the court. It's 10-1. Red Oak with the lead.
And she's the veteran on the court, too, as well. She's able to decide where she wants to go with the ball or bring it hard. It's a nice soft tap across. Johnson does it well there.
Timeout on the court. We'll take it with them. Red Oak leads 10-1 here in set number 1. Number 1, pretty much been all Tigers, 10-1 here over the Trojans in set number 1, Eli.
And what you've been seeing from Red Oak is they're not rushing into anything. It's when the free ball comes across, they're setting it up, they're taking their time. Fundamentals right here, not so much fundamentals coming right here from Atlantic. They seem a little rushed, seem a little hesitant, kind of playing back on their heels. Let's see what comes down the rest of the set.
Atlantic's a little tight, like
Definitely.
you say. They're playing not to mess up, which ultimately is not the way to play here. Rushes there, passes it up front. Set hit across the net by Smith. Set goes to O'Neal. There's Geyer passing it up front. Tapped across by Jensen. And a free ball across the net by Carrot. Geyer is there. Mullenix right at the net. Comes down. When it comes down at the net, it's so hard to deal with. We said that all season long. Red Oak gets the point, 11-1. Red Oak set number 1.
Exactly, and just kind of looks to be playing tight like you said here for Atlantic. The underdog here is they got to be able to let loose.
Blackman serves across the net. Tapped across, kept alive by Merced Ramirez somehow, and then a down ball by Carrick. Now Carrick from behind the 10-foot line. There's Nolik. Mullenix with the set to Smith. She goes for the kill, but it sells out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers. It's 12-1. Red Oak with the lead.
What a save by Ramirez, though, to keep that alive and get the point. Just athleticism and a great play right there.
Pretty remarkable, that's for sure. 12-1. Red Oak with the lead in set number 1. Blackman kind of a floater across the net into the back row to Rush. Hit across by Smith, hard, dug out nicely by Carrick. There is Blackman up front. Nolik with the set to Smith. Once again, we'll call that a State Farm Insurance Dave Carbaugh block at the net, but goes back across. Trojans handle it and gain the point. 12-2 now. Trojans with the lead, set number 1.
And I think definitely
Red Oak with the lead.
That's right, and I think definitely now Atlantic's going to be attacking the sidelines here. It's hard to be able to set up blocks and make them drop.
There's Blackman. Ramirez tapped across by, great job by Lennon O'Neal. Great court awareness there by O'Neal. Into the game, Bass taking a seat is Ramirez and Lennon O'Neal back to serve for Red Oak. 13-2, Red Oak leads set number 1. Serve into the back row. Smith is there up front. Jensen with the set now, hit by Nolik. Nice hit by Nolik, and it goes out of play, and the point goes to the Trojans. It's 13-3. Back into the game now comes Jordan Carlson taking a seat. O'Neal back to serve for Atlantic will be Mullenix. Chloe Mullenix. Into the back row, Blackman is there. There's Carlson with the set to Johnson. She hits it across into the back row, Geyer. Set up front goes to Nolik, and hit into the net. Point goes to the Tigers.
And a great idea from Atlantic, too. I think getting the ball up front, just the sets right now aren't really there, and Red Oak's really taking advantage, as you see by the score here, 14-3.
14-3, Red Oak with the lead. Serve from Johnson. Up front, tapped across by Nolik this time. There is Carlson. Set to Bass. She hits it hard. Tapped at the net. Trojans keep it alive. Pushed across the net by Geyer now. There's Carlson with the set to Bass. And dug out by Jensen. Hit by Nolik. But Blackman does a nice job. And there's a kill at the net. That's an Alley Pointer Maquetto kill by Abby Smith.
And a great job from Smith, like we said in the pregame show. That's going to be the go-to person here for Atlantic, and shows it right there when a free ball is coming across the net. She's going to put it down for him.
All right, and Smith jump serve from the mid portion of the court. Blackman is there to receive. A front set goes to Bass right at the line, and Peyton Bass is going to get the Alley Pointer Maquetto kill.
And right there, just a soft spot going across. That's all you need to be able to get to that back corner, and Bass does it just perfectly.
15-4, Red Oak leads set number 1. Back to serve now is DeVries, mid-portion of the service line in the back row. Hit across hard by Geyer. Tigers are there to keep it alive. Free ball across the net by Johnson. Geyer, Jensen tapped it, tried to get it to Nolik, but a little too high, goes out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers.
And the energy is just staying on with Red Oak right now. You can tell, especially I think with the home crowd, it's pretty packed here. I'm going to say on both sides, Red Oak's really feeding off the energy right now, leading this one 16-4.
Absolutely. And point goes to the Tigers. 17-4, Red Oak leads set number one. Red Oak pretty much dominated this first set.
And it's just been controlled. It's not like they've been hectic plays going on, lucky shots. It's just been all Red Oak this whole time. There's
DeVries. Mullenix pass it up front. Jensen with the set, hit across the net by Smith. Now Mullenix up front. Geyer pushes it across the net. Carbaugh with the tap across. A great job by Liz Carbaugh, just to back up and just tap it right into the open spot on the court.
That's right, and when you're just in an awkward position, you can see the court. Like we said, they're expecting Carbaugh to be able to come with some big swings and a nice little soft drop there from Carbaugh.
Laney DeVries doing a nice job from behind the service line here. Hit by Geyer hard. Tigers there to keep it alive. There's Carlson, set to Carrick. Dug out, but it's going to go out of play. Nice job by Carrick with the hit. 19-4. Let's call that an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill. 19-4, Red Oak with the lead, set number one. Back to serve is DeVries. There's Smith up front, right at the net. Jensen tries to keep it alive, but boy, those are hard to deal with. 20-4, Red Oak with the lead.
It's just been smooth here for Red Oak, too. There hasn't been any errors here in this first set I've seen coming from Red Oak. They're just picking up right where they left off.
Laney DeVries from behind the service line. Hit it. Nolik, big time block at the net there. State Farm Insurance. Dave Carbaugh block at the net. Carbaugh or Carrick, one of the two. Let's give it to them both. That's there. Right. 21-4. And again, Laney DeVries doing a fantastic job from behind the service line. Of course, she's going to the open spot and hits the ribbon, falls back, and the point goes to the Trojans. As soon as I say something, that's the way that works.
With a lead like this right now, you go for these types of serves. You're up 21-5, you go for those types of serves.
Jump serve across the net comes from Nolik. Set to pass. There's Smith, digs it, passes it up front. Nolik with the set to Jensen, and that's going to be a kill, a Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Jada Jensen. 21-6, Red Oak with the lead. Back to serve is Nolik. She'll have a jump serve from the right side of the court into the back row, and Lexi Johnson heads up play, just lets it go right out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers. Into the game, Ramirez and O'Neill taking seat, Bass and Carlson for Red Oak, and Ramirez back to serve. 22-6, Red Oak with the lead in set number one. Serve comes from Ramirez, hit across by Jensen. That's going to be an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Jada Jensen.
And Jada Jensen with the 2 kills so far here in this first set. That's really been their go-to on the outside. It seems to be working for them here. Got to dig out of a big hole here in this first set, though.
All right, here we go. And back to serve is Rush, Ava Rush, a junior, from the left side into the back row. Blackman is there. Passes it up front. Tapped across by Carrick. Jensen is there and then pushed across by Geyer. Back up front. Set to Carbaugh. She taps it across. Jensen keeps it alive. Geyer pushes it to the back row, but Johnson is there. Set goes to O'Neill into the back corner. Passed up front from Smith. Nolik, and then just tapped across by Jensen, but Blackman receives it well. Set goes to Carrick. She taps it, falls to the floor, and the point goes to the Trojans, 22-8. Red Oak leads set number one.
There's only a couple errors here from this first set coming from Red Oak Atlantic. Starting to pick up, starting to bring a little momentum here at the end of this first set.
Rush now with the serve and heads up play by the Tigers, goes out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers, 23-8. Set number one. Back to serve is Tori Carrick from the, I'd say, the middle portion of the service line. Jump serve into the back row. Rush passes it up front. Nolik with the set to Mullenix at the net. And Mullenix is going to get the kill. Allie Pointer-Marketo kill by Chloe Mullenix.
Like I was saying earlier, too, attacking the outside here as well. Atlantic's really been going to the outside lines. It's tough to block, and when they land on the line, it's really hard to get to, trying to dig themselves out of this hole.
Aubrey Geyer with the serve. There is Johnson up to Ramirez. Set to Johnson. It's blocked at the net. That's going to be a State Farm Insurance Dave Carbaugh block at the net. Jensen, and then blocked by the Johnson-Carbaugh duo, and we are at set point. 24-9. Red Oak leads set number 1. Back to serve is Blackman. Into the back row, Rush. There's Jensen with the set to Smith. She hits it across. That's going to be an Allie Pointer-Marketo kill right there by Smith.
And these kills coming here late in the set just seems a little too late here, being down 24-10, but trying to pick up this momentum here as Atlantic maybe can bring it on to this next set.
Jada Jensen back to serve to Carrick. Set goes to O'Neill. She taps it across, and that's going to do it for set number 1. 25-10 is your final score in set number 1. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after these messages. Got your fancy light going?
Yeah,
give me
exactly it.
Give me your Southwestern Community College mid-match report card here, Eli.
You may not want to look at my report card. It might not be the best, but like we said here, these stats are my stats. Okay, yeah. They're not Maryland Dietz stats. They're not the chart with the fingers, but they're mine. So I had Liz Carbaugh here with 3 kills and 2.5 blocks. Peyton Bass with 1 kill. Tori Carrick with a kill, a block, and 2 aces. Lexi Johnson with 3 kills and a block. Merced Ramirez with 1 kill, and Leonard O'Neill with 3 kills on the night here so far in the first set. And then for Atlantic, I had Abby Smith with 2, Chloe Molnex with 1, and Jada Jensen with 2.
I would say the Tigers keep doing what they're doing, Eli. The Trojans have to come out and just go for it here at this point. I think that would be the adjustment that they might need to do. Just go for it. They're playing a little tight, a little conservative. I think they just need to let it rip here.
Like you said, Aaron, being a little hesitant, it seems, here in this first set. And, Red Oak is doing a great job of being balanced here. You can see across the board with Carbaugh, Bass, Carrick, Johnson, Ramirez, and O'Neill, all the way down the list. Having that balance for Red Oak is key, but Atlantic needs to be able to find a little bit of that balance too.
Red Oak wins set number 1, 25-10, and we are set for set number 2. Here comes Aubrey Geyer for the Trojans from behind the service line, mid-section behind the service line into the back row. Lexi Johnson lets it sail out of play, and the point goes to Red Oak. Red Oak on the board, 1-0 here in set number 2.
And you can tell Atlantic's really trying to just go for the line and go for the corner here. It seems like it may be a little too risky right now. It's not really working out for him here so far, but like you said, a great heads-up play there by Johnson.
Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Tori Carrick, jump serve, middle portion of the service line into the back row. Nolik is there. Right at the net, pushed across by Mollenix. Ramirez with the set to Carbaugh. She taps it across. Jensen to Mollenix. Tapped at the net, kind of tied up between 2 players there. And then Smith hits it across, falls to the floor, and the point goes to the Trojans. We're tied up 1 apiece here in set number 2. Red Oak won set number 1, 25-10. Back to serve is Jada Jensen. Into the back row, Blackman. Chased down by Carrick. And pushed across now by Lexi Johnson. Carbaugh goes up to the net and taps it to the floor, and the point goes to the Tigers. 2-1, Red Oak leads. Carbaugh comes out of the game, and DeVries checks into the game for Red Oak. Back to serve is Blackman. Ashlyn Blackman. Right at the net, Lexi Johnson goes up and gets the Alley Pointer Maquetto kill at the net by Lexi Johnson. 3-1, Red Oak leads set number 2. Blackman back to serve, into the back row to Smith. There is Geyer set to Mullenix. She pushes it across. Ramirez to DeVries. Free ball across the net by DeVries. Up front, Jensen with the set to Mullenix. She tries to kill it, but dug out nicely by Blackman. This time, DeVries goes up, but I think we're going to have a net violation on the Tigers. We do. Nope, 4 taps, actually.
And, a little different here in this second set. Atlantic, not the huge start from the service line that Red Oak typically has. Atlantic trying to bring that on their side.
Absolutely. Back to serve now is Mullenix. Ace serve by Mullenix. That is a Houghton State Bank ace serve by Chloe Mullenix.
That's exactly what Atlantic's looking for here, is kind of these big plays going on to change the momentum. With an ace serve like that, it just may do it here.
Momentum is big. Tied up at 3 apiece. Set number 2. Into the back row, Carrick is there. Ramirez with the set to O'Neill. She taps it across. Now Nolik. Ramirez set to Johnson. Big hit, but the Trojans are there. Tapped across. There's that dump set by Ramirez again.
And Ramirez
executed flawlessly.
Just has that down. That's all she does. She has that down. She's able to just find that little dump set area, and she's able to do it perfectly. And an update here from the in Sergeant Bluff, the Lady Warriors win big in first set, 25-9 over Harlan.
There you go. O'Neill back to serve. Red Oak leads 4-3, set number 2. Served by O'Neill. There's Mullenix. Set goes to Smith. She hits it, but it goes off of the Tigers, and the point goes to the Trojans. 4-4. Much better game, much more competitive here in set number 2 so far. Back to serve is Abby Smith for the Trojans. Middle portion of the court. Jump serve into the back row. There's Blackman, passes it up front. Set from Carlson to DeVries. Jensen passes it up front. Leonard to hit across. We're going to have a Houghton State Bank kill.
And another update is going ahead, Aaron.
Alley Pointer Maquetto kill.
It's going to be 25-11 East Mills over Griswold in set 1.
And Atlantic leads for the first time tonight, 5-4 over the Tigers. There's Carrick up front. Set goes to Bass. Hit across, then blocked at the net by Geyer, but I think you're going to have a net violation on the Tigers.
Yeah, it's a little change of the tide here. It seems to be in this second set so far. From the service line, Atlantic's doing a great job with getting free balls over, making Red Oak make mistakes.
Abby Smith with the jump serve. This is low and into the net. Point goes to the Tigers.
And it was aggressive serve there from Atlantic too, starting to go for the little things more. Just seems a little more loose here to start off the second set.
Serve from Johnson, received by Mullenix. There's Nolik, Jaden Jensen, and then serve into the net, hit into the net by the Trojans, and we're tied up now at 6 apiece here in set number 2. Red Oak won set 1, 25-10. Johnson back to serve once again. This one's low and into the net. A few more errors coming here from the Tigers.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's coming from, I think, both ways here, but it's been more the side of Red Oak, especially coming off that first set. It was very clean.
Served by Nolik. Set goes to Carrick. She taps it across. Nolik is there to keep it alive. Nice job. Smith pushes it up front. Jensen at the net, and it falls to the floor. Point goes to the Tigers. It is 7 apiece here in set number 2. Into the game, Carbaugh. Blackman takes a seat, and Lainey DeVries back to serve for Red Oak. Lainey had a nice run from behind the service line, set number 1. Serve into the back row. Geyer's there, passes it up. Nolik set to Geyer. She hits it hard. Lainey DeVries digs it, and it goes out of play. Point goes to the Trojans. Trojans lead 8-7.
And what's a little different here is there's not as many free balls here in this second set as there was that first set here for Atlantic.
Rush back to serve. Ava Rush, the libero. Into the back row. Johnson is there. Front set goes to Carrick. She hits this one hard. Rush passes it up front. Set and hit by Geyer. Carbaugh does a nice job of keeping it alive, but we're going to have too many hits on the ball, I think. Our lifting call, too much contact with the ball, and the point goes to the Trojans, and a 2-point lead now for Atlantic's 9-7 in set number 2.
And like I said, what's been different is they're getting the ball up to the front line, getting the ball up to the net, and offense is starting to happen here for Atlantic. Like you said, lead this 1 by 2.
Rush serves into the back row. Johnson is there. Up front, set goes to Bass. She taps it across. It's out of play, and the point goes to Atlantic. It's 10-7 now. Atlantic with the lead.
And a lot of airs building up on part of Red Oak here in this second set. Completely different here. A change of momentum right here in the second set.
Rush serves into the back row once again to Johnson, but misses out this time, and the point goes to the Tigers. It's 10-8. Atlantic with the lead. Into the game comes Ramirez and O'Neill. Taking a seat is Bass and Carlson for Red Oak. Back to serve Ramirez. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Serve received by Rush. Nolik with the set to Geyer. She hits it across at the net. We're going to have a block. That's a State Farm Insurance Dave Carbaugh block at the net, in part by Liz Carbaugh and Lennon O'Neill. It's a 1-point set now. Atlantic leads 10-9 in set number 2. Red Oak won set 1, 25-10. Ramirez back to serve. This low across the net. Rush receives it well. Hit by Mullenix. There's Blackman to Carrick. We're going to have a free ball across the net by Johnson. Tapped across by Geyer. Geyer did a nice job of hitting it to the open spot on the court, but we have a double touch, I think, or a net violation actually on the Tigers. The point goes to Atlantic either way. And Atlantic leads 11-9, set number 2. Geyer back to serve into the back row. Blackman passes it up front. Set to Carrick. We're going to have a kill. Let's call that an Allie Pointer-Marketo kill from Tori Carrick.
That's exactly what Red Oak needs right now, is just a little momentum here. It seems a little flat, just kind of flip-flopped on sets right there. Red Oak just seems a little flat here in this second set. That's what Carrick needs to do right there to bring him back.
Jump serve from Carrick. That's going to be an ace serve, a Houghton State Bank ace serve by Tori Carrick.
And 3 aces so far here of the night for Carrick.
They tied up at 11 apiece.
Melanie loves my stats. I know it.
So, Tori Carrick back to serve.
I didn't get Maryland approved yet.
Time jump serve from Carrick into the back row. Rush is there. There's Smith, and then just a free ball across the net by Geyer. Set to Carbaugh. She taps it across. Rush gets under it. Nolik with the set to Jensen. She hits it across, and Jada Jensen gets the point, the kill, the Allie Pointer-Marketo kill by Jada Jensen.
And Jada Jensen having a great night here so far for Atlantic. Whoever's hot for Atlantic here, just keep feeding them the ball, because in a postseason match like this, whoever's hot, just got to get it to them.
12-11, Atlantic with the lead, set number 2. And somehow Lexi Johnson got that one across the net. Mullenix hits it into the back row. Carrick passes it up front. Set goes to Lexi. She hits it hard. And we're going to have an Allie Pointer-Marketo kill by Lexi Johnson.
What a save that was. I don't know if I've seen something like that ever. That was a great save there coming from Johnson.
Tied up at 12 apiece, set number 2. Blackman serves. There's Rush right up to the net. Jensen set and hit by Nolik. It falls to the floor. We're going to have a kill, a Allie Pointer-Marketo kill by Nolik. 13-12, Atlantic leads set number 2. Atlantic a much different team.
Definitely are here.
Red Oak committing a few more errors, and Atlantic has really stepped up their play here in set number 2. Set to O'Neill. She hits it across and gains the point for Red Oak. Coming into the game for the Tigers is Bass taking a seat. Ramirez. O'Neill back to serve, tied up at 13 apiece here in set number 2. Red Oak leads 1-0 on the evening. Serve low and hits the top ribbon and falls to the floor. Kind of one of those aggressive serves. And the point goes to Atlantic. Into the game, Carlson taking a seat is O'Neill. Back to serve is Smith. Abby Smith for Atlantic. Jump serve into the back row. Blackman digs it, passes it up front. Carlson set to Johnson. She hits it right to the back row and gets the point for the Tigers.
You know, and Johnson's just so athletic. She's just a little off balance. Almost runs into Carlson there on that set, but ties it up here at 14 apiece.
Yep, like Eli said, all tied up at 14. Serve from Lexi. Kind of a little floater across the net this time. Set from Jensen. Tapped across by Geyer. And Geyer gets the point just on the little tap across the net.
You know, it's just been a completely different set, like you've been saying, Aaron. A lot more errors, not as clean, not as efficient here for the Tigers, but just flip-flopped over to Atlantic.
Jump serve comes from Nolik. Received. Hit across hit by Lexi again. Talking about those errors, and that's kind of been the name of the game for the Tigers here in set number 2. Atlantic leads 16-14 in set number 2. Nolik back to serve. Lexi Nolik. Jump serve received by Johnson. That's going to be an ace serve by Lexi Nolik.
And when the serve receives, not good for Red Oak either. They don't seem to be able to get their offense going. And Atlantic doing a great job with aggressive serves here.
A Houghton State Bank ace serve. Jump serve from Nolik again. There's Johnson right to the net. It goes. And then a free ball across the net by Carrick. Right at the net. DeVries goes up, taps it down, but the Trojans do a nice job of keeping that alive. There's Johnson with the set to Bass. She hits it across. Smith passes it up front. Nolik set to Geyer. She hits it across, and she's going to get the point for the Trojans. And it's 18-14 now, set number 2. Trojans with the lead. Red Oak leads 1-0 on the evening. Back to serve is Nolik. Low across the net, received by Blackman. Then Tigers a little out of sync here, not communicating on the court necessarily, and
they definitely are
causing some problems.
And there's going to be a timeout here for Red Oak.
We're going to have a timeout on the court. 19-14, Atlantic with the lead. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to our folks on our YouTube channel and to our radio audience now. Mel, how are you?
Great. I was just going to remind you, we have a fun contest going on. I don't know I have enough time to get into that, but they can visit our Instagram or the KCSI/KYK Radio Facebook page and take the Country Sunshine with you while you harvest.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more, but
send us a photo or a video. You'll go check that out over on our Facebook page. All right, here we go, back at it, and Red Oak, it's Class 3A Region 1 quarterfinals. Serve from Nolik across the net, received by Blackman. Hit by DeVries. Molnix is there. And then Jensen taps it, goes in the net. Point goes to the Tigers.
That's a big point for Red Oak, too, I think, to keep it within 4 now. Got to be able to get things going here from the service line. I think that's the biggest thing here in this second set. Not a lot of big things coming from the service line, creating these errors, too.
Lainey DeVries behind the service line. She had a nice run in set number 1. Serve received, and then finally pushed across the net by Molnix. Carlson with the set to Bass. Bass hits it hard. It falls to the floor on the Tigers side of the net, and the point goes to Atlantic. It's 20-15 now. Atlantic leads set number 2.
And they always talk about that 20-point mark, and right here Atlantic reaches it first.
It's one of those mental things, Eli.
Definitely is.
And serve receive, set to Carrick. She hits it, and Tori Carrick is going to get the Alley Pointer Maquetto kill. Ramirez and Lennon O'Neill come into the game. Taking a seat will be Bass and Carlson. Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. It's 20-16. Atlantic leads set number 2. Serve from Ramirez into the back row. Rush is there. Nolik set to Molnix. She hits it across, and it's called out.
Yeah, it was a late call, too, as well.
And it's called out.
I couldn't see it. So.
Point goes to the Tigers. It's 20-17. Ramirez with the ace serve. The Houghton State Bank ace serve by Merced Ramirez.
And that's a big momentum shift, too, as well. Now brings it back within 2. Let's see if Ramirez can keep it up from the service line.
20-18. Ramirez behind the service line. Red Oak leads. Serve from Ramirez, received by Rush, right at the net. Tapped across. Liz Carbaugh with the block. We'll call that a State Farm Insurance Dave Carbaugh block at the net by Liz Carbaugh.
And that's who's going to do it for you here in this second set, as well as up front of the line is Liz Carbaugh with those big blocks.
It's a 1-point set now. Ramirez. Tigers getting a little momentum. Geyer pushes it into the back corner. Ramirez chased down by Lexi Johnson, and then a down ball across the net by O'Neill. Nolik hit across by Molnix. At the net, it goes out of play. Point goes to the Tigers, and we're tied up at 20.
And just like that, being down 5 and then just change the momentum, one play can change a lot, and they had 2 come right to back.
Ramirez with the serve low and across the net. Geyer is there to get under it. Set goes to Jensen. Jada Jensen with the big kill attempt, but it sails a bit long. The point goes to the Tigers, and the Tigers regain the lead now.
And this is definitely what we saw in the first set, too, as well, was clean volleyball coming from Red Oak, and you can see it having 6 straight here in this second set.
Into the back row to Jensen. There's Geyer, and then a down ball across the net by Molinix. Passed up front, set to Carbaugh. Dug out nicely there by Rush. Blackman with the set to Carrick. She hits it hard. Up at the net, set goes to Mullenix. She hits it. It goes out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers.
That's a big point for Red Oak 2 now, leading by 2. 6-point run here in this second set for the Tigers.
6-point run, yeah, like you said, and boy, that just missed that back line. Ramirez with the serve into the back row to Rush. There's Nolik, hit across by Geyer. Goes out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers.
I think a timeout here needs to come for Atlantic here pretty quick.
And there you go. That's it. Red Oak with the lead on, what is that, Eli? 7 straight points. 23-20, Red Oak leads. We'll be right back after these messages.
Okay.
Welcome back. Hey, folks watching online, thanks. Let me turn your mic up, Mel.
Yes. So we'll tell them a little bit about our new contest that's going on just this week. So while you're harvesting, send us a picture or video of you harvesting. It can be from the combine. It can be from the grain cart, a semi, whatever. Send us a picture or video, and that's all it takes to be entered into the drawing.
Welcome back to our radio audience.
Yep. So talking about that contest again, send us those pictures or videos. You can just put it in the comment on Facebook, or you can email it to us at contest@kcsifm.com, and then we're going to deliver a meal for 10 to the field.
Absolutely. It's fun.
How fun is that?
It's a lot of fun. Hey, want to say thanks to our exclusive streaming sponsor, Carrick & Associates. Todd and Sherry, thanks for all they do, and thanks for being our exclusive streaming sponsor here this evening. Hit across by Mullenix. It's going to fly out of play. Nice heads-up play by the Tigers. Tigers kind of regaining a little bit of rhythm here in these last few points, and they lead now 24-20. What a turnaround in these last, what will about be 9 points, depending on what happens here. Ramirez with the serve right at the net. Tapped across by Mullenix. Johnson keeps it alive. Set goes to Carrick. She hits it across. Smith gets under it. Nolik passes it up front. There's Mullenix. She taps it across. Kept alive by Ramirez. There's Carrick tapping it across. Hit by Mullenix, and it's going to sail along, and that's going to do it. Boy, what a turnaround for the Tigers in set number 2.
Like you said, Aaron, what a turnaround in that second set. 9 straight points coming from Red Oak. Just faced a little adversity, and they come back winning this second set 25-20.
Quick break, and we'll be back with our Southwestern Community College report card right after these messages. Welcome back to Red Oak Class 3A Region 1 quarterfinal action. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening, 25-10, 25-20, and the Tigers were down by 4, 20-16, and then went on a run to finish it and win that. They really played tight, and for our Southwestern Community College mid-match evaluation, they played tight and a much different team in that second match, Eli.
Yeah, definitely. They played a little tight there, and Atlanta kind of loosened up. They capitalized on Red Oak's errors, and you can see just from the stat line, too, with Geyer having 3 kills, Nolik with 1, and Jensen with 1, you could kind of see how many errors Red Oak really had in that second set, but for them to come back down to the end, down having a 9-point run to end up winning that set. We also had Liz Carball with 1 kill in that set. Tori Carrick with 2, Lexi Johnson with 3, Merced Ramirez with 2, Lynn O'Neill with 1, and Liz Carball's doing a great job in front of the net here with 2 blocks on the night. Tori Carrick with another ace in that set. And also we had Merced Ramirez and Lynn O'Neill with an ace too as well.
All right, we're just about set for set number 3. Eli, do you have a score for me?
Yep, and we had 25-19 East Mills over Griswold in the second set. And in Sergeant Bluff, we had 25-14 over Harlan in set number 2 in Sergeant Bluff.
That's a bit of a Bearcat bracket breakdown from Northwest Missouri State, although
exactly
it's not going to be a final, but
hey, there you go. We're going to do the best we can, right?
A lot of volleyball. Jump serve comes from Carrick here in set number 3. There's Nolik, hit across by Mullenix. It goes out, and the point goes to the Tigers.
And that's the start for Red Oak, too. It was the complete opposite in that second set. Aggressive from the service line and letting the balls go that are clearly out to be able to get those points.
Carrick from behind the service line. Received by Rush. Tapped across by Geyer. It's going to go out of play. Nice heads-up play there by the Tigers, and the point goes to Red Oak. Red Oak leads 2-0. And set number 3. They lead 2 sets. Then that was a pretty impressive turnaround there, I have to say, in set number 2.
It definitely was. Now scoring 11 points in a row coming off that second set.
Jump serve from Carrick, received by Smith. There's Carbaugh with the Alley Pointer Maquetto kill, Liz Carbaugh.
And that's what Carbaugh's been able to do, it seems like, all year long, especially with the vertical. She's able to get to that ball first, and she's able to put it down. That leads us 1-3-0.
Back to service, Carrick. Red Oak leads 3-0, set number 3. Thanks for joining us here on KCSI KOAK. Jump serve from Carrick. There's Smith. Set to Mullenix. She hits it across the net. Dump set again. That's 3 times tonight Ramirez has done that dump set.
And, that's 3 kills for her right there, I guess you can call with my stats for Merced Ramirez.
All right, 4-0, Red Oak with the lead, set number 4. Carrick back to serve. Into the back row to Rush. Nolik right at the net. Again, that's so difficult to handle at the net. Falls to the floor, and the point goes to the Tigers. It's 5-0. Red Oak leads set number 3.
And now we're seeing kind of a replica from that first set. If they're doing great from the service line like Red Oak's doing right now, they will score a lot of points.
Into the back row to Geyer. There's Smith. Geyer with the down ball across the net. Passed up front from Carrick. We're going to have a kill. That would be a Alley Pointer Maquetto kill by Lennon O'Neill.
Lennon O'Neill always coming in clutch with the points you need. Now leading this one 6-0 here in set number 3.
Red Oak leads 6-0. Back to serve is Carrick. Jump serve into the back row. Rush is there. Tapped across, down ball by Geyer. There's Ramirez. There's O'Neill, passed up front. Nolik. Set to Jensen. She hits it, but it goes a bit too far, and the point goes to the Tigers.
We're going to have a touch call on part of Red Oak here. It's going to go to Atlantic.
Yep, absolutely. It went out of play, but the Tigers touched it, I guess, and the point goes to Atlantic. Atlantic is on the board in set number 3, 6-1. Back to serve is Geyer. Aubrey Geyer, she's a 6-foot junior. Serve into the back row to Johnson. There is Ramirez pushed across by Johnson. Down ball by Nolik. Set to Johnson. She hits it hard. It's blocked out of play. The point goes to the Tigers. 7-1. Red Oak with the lead into the game. DeVries taking seat as Carball.
And just kind of a replica from we're seeing from that first set to the start of this third set here. They're just continuing to do a great job from the service line.
Here's Blackman into the back row to Nolik. Jensen with the set to Smith. She hits it hard. That's going to be a kill. An Alley Pointer Maquetto kill by Smith. And it's 7-2. Red Oak leads set number 3. They lead 2-0 on the evening.
And there's some big swings coming from Atlantic here, too. A lot of them been going out, but when they're able to get them down, it's hard to be able to return.
Serve. There's Johnson. Set goes to DeVries. Dug out by Jensen. Up front, Nolik. Hit across by Smith, and that misses out by Smith. And the point goes to Red Oak. It's 8-2. Red Oak with the lead. O'Neill back to serve for Red Oak. Lennon O'Neill from behind the service line. Into the back row to Smith. Geyer hits it into the back row. Blackman is there. There's Carrick passing it up to the net. It's tapped, goes to the floor. Nice job there. The Tigers couldn't get it. Was Mullenix that just goes up and taps it back down. Nice job by Mullenix.
And that's what Atlantic needs here is just a couple cheap points to be able to try to work their way back in this.
Momentum.
Exactly.
Get that momentum shifted to their side.
Make
Mullenix
Red
with
Oak make
the
the
serve.
errors.
There's Carrick. Front set goes to Lexi Johnson, dug out by Mullenix, taps, rattles around and falls to. Let's call that a kill. An Alley Pointer Marquetto kill by Lexi Johnson.
And that's
went up to the rafters.
And that's tough to get whenever it gets up to the rafters.
So that's
everybody gets a kill.
I'm getting kills for everybody. There's Mullenix. Right at the net. It's going to be tapped down, and a nice job by the Tigers. Point goes to Red Oak. It's 10-3. Back to serve is Lexi Johnson, set number 3. Serve from the middle portion of the service line into the back row. Mullenix is there. Hit by Nolik. Nice hit. That would be a kill.
That's right.
That would be a Alley Pointer Marquetto kill.
And and for Atlantic here, they're not down big, only down 6 here in this first set. If it's got to be early here to be able to get some momentum back into this.
10-4, Red Oak leads. Serve from Smith, received by Blackman. Set goes to Carrick. There's Smith. Bass goes up and hits it back across, and then Smith passes it up front, hit by Nolik at the net, dug out by Blackman. Some good volleyball here on front of us, Eli. There's Mullenix keeping it alive. Lexi Johnson set to Bass. She hits it, and Smith digs it, goes up to the net. Tapped across now by Peyton Bass, and then pushed across by Smith. Carlson with the set to DeVries. Blocked at the net, but it's going to go out of play, and the point goes to Tigers. My goodness, that was a pretty strong volley right there.
It definitely was. What a great set, I think, from both teams here as well. Just going back and forth, fighting for that point. That was a big point for Atlantic to be able to get it within 5, but Red Oak here stretching the lead.
Shenandoah over Clarinda in set number 2, 25-16. Serve from DeVries, received by Mullenix. Carbaugh goes up and gets the kill. Alley Pointer Marquetto kill.
I think that's the 3rd time here tonight that Liz Carbaugh has just been able to have a free ball come over the net and put it down like that.
12-4, Red Oak leads set number 3. Laney DeVries behind the service line for Red Oak. There's Nolik. Jensen hit at the net. We're going to have a State Farm Insurance Dave Carbaugh block at the net by Carrick and Carbaugh. Carrick ended up on the floor, I think.
Down on that one.
She's all right. Everyone's smiling. Everything's okay. Serve goes across the net. Smith is there. Mullenix, and then a down ball by Geyer. There's a kill attempt. Nice job. Nice low set there by Carlson to Carbaugh. It goes out of play, and the point goes to the Tigers. It's 14-4 in set number 3. Back to serve is Laney DeVries for Red Oak. Little soft serve this time, and makes it across the net. Pushed across by Mullenix. Bass. Carlson, dump set by Carlson. Carbaugh goes up, tries that same thing again, doesn't work this time. Jensen passes it across, set to Bass. She hits it at the net, goes into the net. Point goes to the Trojans.
And just kind of mistimed that one there from Bass. It was falling to the ground as she was hitting that one there. Atlantic's going to take those points. We got to create their own here, being down 9 in set number 3.
Back to serve is Lexi Nolik for the Trojans. Serve low and into the net. Point goes to the Tigers. 15-5, Red Oak leads set number 3. Looks like Ramirez and O'Neill into the game. Out of the game, Bass and Carlson. Back to serve is Merced Ramirez. Serve low across the net. There's Geyer, then Johnson. Free ball across the net that time by Carrick. Set from Nolik. Hit hard by Jensen, but Lexi receives it well. Lexi with the push into the back corner. Smith is there. Up front, Nolik set to Geyer. She hits it hard. She's going to get the Alley Pointer Marquetto kill. Aubrey Geyer.
And if they're able to set up their offense like that, they're able to produce a lot of points for Atlantic. Just haven't seen a whole lot of it here tonight.
Ava Rush back to serve for Atlantic. 15-6, Red Oak leads. Serve from Rush into the back row to Blackman. Up to the net, Carbaugh taps it, but then pushed back across the net by the Trojans, and it's 15-7. Red Oak leads set number 3. They lead 2-0 on the evening. Back to serve is Rush for Red Oak, for Atlantic. Received by Red Oak. Blackman up front. Set to Carbaugh. That's going to be an Alley Pointer Maquetto kill by Liz Carbaugh.
We got it right there.
Yeah.
We're back.
And Red Oak leads now 16-7 here in set number 3. They lead 2-0 on the evening. Back around now is Carrick behind the service line. Starts off from the right side. Jump serve from Carrick into the back row. There's Rush passing it up the net. Free ball across the net by Mullenix. Blackman gets under it. Tapped across by O'Neill and falls to the net. Point goes to the Trojans. It's 16-8.
And Atlantic's got to be able to go right now. Red Oak just keeps continuing to stretch this lead here, getting to the late part of this third set.
Geyer back to serve. Aubrey Geyer into the back row to Blackman up front. There's Ramirez to Carbaugh. She taps it across. Jada Jensen keeps it alive. Pushed across by Geyer. Carrick is there. Set to Lexi Johnson. Hit across. Rush. Nice job by Jada Jensen to get that one back across the net. We're going to have a net violation on the Tigers, and the point goes to the Trojans.
And we got
16-9. We have a twisted knee here, I think, Eli, or not exactly sure. So, I have a little substitution here. Coming into the game will be Michaela Atkinson. I didn't really see what happened there, but it looks like it was a twisted ankle or a knee. We're going to have a timeout on the court. Tell you what, we're going to take it with them. 16-9, Red Oak leads. Set number 3. We'll be right back after these messages. Gymnasium, Aaron West and Eli Bells. Melanie West here as well. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening. They lead set number 3, 16-9. And the Trojans will be serving Michaela Atkinson, sophomore. First time we've seen Michaela tonight serve across the net. Lexi Johnson is there. There is Carrick. It's going to be hit across. Goes out of play. The point goes to the Tigers. 17-9. Red Oak leads set number 3.
And right here's the time, especially for Red Oak, just trying to extend this lead, just stick with the fundamental volleyball here, up 17-9, up big, but staying aggressive from the service line. That's what Red Oak does best.
And the serve from Blackman into the back row. Passed up front, right at the net to Jensen, and then a down ball by Mullenix. Set to Johnson. That's going to be an Alley Pointer Maquetto kill by Lexi Johnson.
And she's just been impressive all year long with kills like that. Just the momentum. You can see them coming from a mile away, too. She says that's a great swing.
18-9, Red Oak leads. Serve, ace serve. We're going to have a Houghton State Bank ace serve by Ashlyn Blackman. 19-9, Red Oak leads set number 3. Back to serve is Blackman. 19-9, Red Oak with the lead. Blackman serve into the back row. We're going to have a second ace serve, a Houghton State Bank ace serve by Ashlyn Blackman. 20-9, Red Oak leads set number 3.
I'm trying to find her on my stats.
Did you find it, Eli?
We got it.
Into the game comes Macy Boswell taking a seat. Lainey DeVries. Blackman back to serve. Little soft serve this time after a couple of more aggressive serves. Trojans handle it well right at the net. Johnson taps it down to the floor, and the point goes to the Tigers. It's 21-9. Red Oak leads set number 3.
And just keeping the ball alive, too, here late in this set for Red Oak's really what's been helping them, too, as well.
9 seniors on this team. This will be the last time in this gym for these 9 seniors.
Yeah, and a lot of them have been playing here for 4 years, too, as well. Just a great run for right now for the Red Oak Tigers.
Ace serve by Ashlyn Blackman.
And that's 3 now.
That's
here in this set.
Another Houghton State Bank ace serve by Ashlyn Blackman. 22-9. Into the back row to Nolik. There's Jensen. Hit hard at the net by Smith, but the Tigers are there. There's Blackman. Set from Ramirez to Boswell. She hits it across. Nolik keeps it alive. Down ball by Smith, or Jensen rather. There's Lexi Johnson, dug out by Smith up at the Nolik, and a little miscommunication, but Rush keeps it alive. Set to Boswell. Boswell hits it hard. There's Molnix with the push across the net. Set to Lexi Johnson. She pushes it into the back corner. It misses out, and the point goes to the Trojans, 22-10.
And a smart heads-up play there from Johnson. Just pushed a little too hard here, landing back with a serve.
And Red Oak leads 22-10. Serve from Jensen is low, and the point goes to the Tigers. It's 23-10. Red Oak with the lead. Into the game. Back to serve is Carlson. Red Oak leads 23-10. Carlson back to serve for Red Oak. Received by Atkinson at the net. Hit by Bass. Point goes to the Tigers. It's 24-10. It's match point for the Tigers. 24-10. Red Oak with the lead, set number 3. And back to serve is Jordan Carlson. Jordan serve. Low across the net. It's an ace serve.
Perfect way
it's
to
an ace serve. A Houghton State Bank ace serve by Jordan Carlson to put it to bed here this evening. All right, we're going to take a quick break, check in with our sponsors, and we'll be back right after these messages. To the Southwestern Community College post-game show, and a great performance here tonight by the Tigers. Tigers win in 3, 25-10, 25-20, 25-10 over the Atlantic Trojans, and the Tigers will advance on down the tournament trail. And we're going to be joined now by a couple of Tigers. We're going to grab that from you, Eli, and we're going to visit with a couple of Tigers here this evening. And Jordan Carlson. Jordan, you can hear me okay, right?
Yep.
All right, very good. And Macy Boswell with us. Macy,
Yep.
Let me move this so I can see you guys. Okay, guys, you're both seniors.
Yep.
Tell me what tonight's volleyball match meant to you guys.
Man, it was so special. This is the last time we'll be playing here at our home gym, and we just wanted to go out strong so we can keep going.
Talking about going out strong, Jordan, how about an ace serve to put it to bed here tonight? So that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So a great season for you guys overall. You knew what to expect. You played Atlantic last week. So tell me about, Macy, how you prepared for tonight's ball game.
We definitely just can't overlook any team. We just go in with our practice, doing what we know they do and what they do strongly, and we work on that, and it just really helps us be a better team.
So senior season here in the Orange Gym, you go out on top, headed to Sergeant Bluff now, right?
Yep.
Looking forward to the postseason.
Yes.
All right, guys. What does this team mean to you? You got 9 seniors on this team.
Yeah.
I mean, a huge senior class. Well, tell me about that. You guys have played together for a long time.
Yeah, it's really special to just keep going with each other, and we've worked hard together since we're in 3rd grade, so it's fun to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Macy?
Yeah, it's just been a huge family, and I'm just so glad that our family's still together.
Very cool, guys. Hey, thanks for stopping to visit. Go celebrate with your team a little bit, will you?
Thank you.
Make it a great game, guys. Again, that is Jordan Carlson and Macy Boswell with us after their performance here this evening. We're going to take a quick break. It is the Southwestern Community College post-game show. And I want to say thanks to our exclusive streaming sponsor, Carrick & Associates, that make our streaming here possible this evening. And for sure, I want to say thanks to Southwestern Community College for sponsoring our post. In fact, you know what? Just if you hear a sponsor, make a note and let them know that you appreciate it, making it possible for us to be here. Another quick break, and we'll be back after these messages. Post-game show, now joined by head coach of the Red Oak Tigers, Coach Angie Montgomery. Coach Montgomery, congratulations.
Thank you.
Pretty dominant here this evening.
Good. I like to see that. I thought so too. We've really have been. We've had some great practices. Had a great weekend. So I just felt it. I mean, I feel like these guys, they are peaking at the right time, and we are ready for. We're ready for a big match Wednesday night. So
okay, so let's back up just a minute to the weekend. You guys had one fantastic weekend as well, didn't you?
We did. We played at Winterset and went 5-0. Our pool contained, 3 out of the 4 teams in our pool have been ranked.
Yeah.
And so it was just great competition. I mean, we had to really gut out a lot of really great points. Stopped some great hitters. I mean, against Webster City, who is a 4A school that had been ranked, kind of like us, and had just recently dropped out. We went 3 sets with them. So normally a third set is only to 15 points. We went that one. I think we evened up after being down. I think we were down 7-12 in the third set. Came back to even it at 14, and the end score was like 21-19.
Yeah.
So it was just like point for point, and we were both trading blows, big digs, and so just overall a really great day for us there, and just good momentum coming into tonight.
And you brought that right into tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
And you feel like that's going to continue on to Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
I think you have Sergeant Bluff Luton.
Yep. We thought so too. So we're going to be ready. We've got to go there, which is fine for us. We can play anywhere they send us, and we're up to any task. I feel like we have the experience. We're not scared to play anybody. We've played some of the top teams in the state all classes and learned some great lessons from them.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we're gonna have a good game plan. They're gonna be confident in their game plan, and they should be confident with how they're playing right now.
Yeah.
Very together, team-oriented volleyball.
Set number 1, I have it here somewhere, Coach, was a pretty dominant set, 25-10.
Yeah.
Set number 2, you came back and you traded blows, but the impressive thing about set number 2, Atlantic made it to 20. It was 20-16. Atlantic had the lead.
Yep.
And then the Tigers rattled off
the
next 9 points to win.
Yep.
And Atlantic didn't score again, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good compliment to the team, kind of like the Lewis Central match where we go down 0-2.
Yeah.
Really not playing very well at that point. And just, never stop believing.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy with that. And I'm happy and confident in them that no matter what happens Wednesday night, they're not going to give up. And I think we can be in the driver's seat a lot that night. So we're going to be ready, and they're going to be excited to get to practice tomorrow and get our scouting report set up.
That's going to be 7 o'clock Wednesday night.
Yep.
In Sergeant Bluff.
In Sergeant Bluff, yes.
All right.
Yep.
That's a long trip.
It is a long trip, and I think we do play at their elementary school.
Okay.
Is where they play. So just for all of you Tiger fans coming out to watch, let's make their gym a loud place.
Melanie's saying we've requested a stream, so we'll see.
There you go.
So hopefully
we're on the phone actually now. Hopefully we can stream.
Perfect.
So
well, we'd love to.
All right, Coach Montgomery, it's been a pleasure. Been a lot of fun.
It has been.
What'd you tell your 9 seniors that this is their last game here in Red Oak?
Regardless of the coming seasons where they'll get to represent Red Oak, this is the last time that all 9 of them will get to be on this court in those jerseys together.
Yeah.
And so, Coach Kipley was our pregame speaker and did tug at their heartstrings a little bit. The fact that, this is, we're at that point now that everybody's even, and it's win or go home, or your season's done, and they're not ready for that to end. We know we're going to be up against a big opponent, but we're not going to shy away from that. And I'm just this group of seniors is a big testament to that.
Yeah.
So.
They've been a lot of fun to watch.
They have been. Thank you. Yes.
All right.
I'm excited to be a part of their journey.
All right, Coach Montgomery, thank you much for stopping by.
Of course.
And we'll see you Wednesday night.
We'll see you Wednesday
night. One way or the other, we'll see you Wednesday night.
Exactly. We'll be there.
All right.
We want to say hi to Vern and Sandy at home.
Vern and Sandy, hi.
We wish you well. We wish you well.
Yes, wish you well. So.
They're both watching, Vern and Sandy.
Right.
So hello, we wish you well. We'll be thinking of you.
All right.
And hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you. Head coach of the Red Oak Tigers, Angie Montgomery. We'll be right back with the Southwestern Community College postgame show right after these messages.